For over a century, racers have been on the never-ending quest for more speed. Technology drives that quest, and it's spawned $1 billion industry. All of racing's movers and shakers gather once a year to peddle their go-fast goods here at the annual PRI show. It's not open to race fans, but you've got pit passes thanks to us.
Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest and exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Motorhead Garage is presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Welcome to the Indiana Convention Center, home to the motorsports industry's annual get-together. You can find everything you need to go fast in every form of the sport right here at PRI. There's 500,000 square feet to cover, and that's way too much for me to handle by myself, so we brought in motorsports expert Joe Costello to help us out.
What do you do when you've got a trade show that is so big it doesn't fit into the convention center? You expand into Lucas Oil Stadium, home of the Colts. This place is incredible. Got dragsters and trailers and everything right here on the field. This is what PRI is all about.
In racing, it's always important to keep your eyes high and look way down the road to see what's ahead, and that's just what you're doing at Neal Chance Racing Converters. Marty, what do you have coming down the pike?
Well, right now, we've got quite a few development projects going on. Some of the hottest are this unit right here. We call it the limited slip converter. Most people know that Neal Chance Racing Converters has dominated the top-end pro mod racing, whether it's nitrous cars, blower cars, turbo cars. With this converter right here, this is the lock-up torque converter. This thing is set about every world record there is. But there's also some classes that don't allow it, and there's a lot of budgets that don't allow it, because a system like this in your car is going to spend about 30 grand. So according to NHRA's definition of regular versus lockup, we designed a converter that's just a regular converter that can become efficient or perform just like the lockup converter at a much lower budget. You only have to buy the converter only. It doesn't require any special transmission. Whatever transmission you're already running, Powerglide, 400, whatever, it goes right in.
How is this going to change racing?
This is going to let the lower budget guy compete with the unlimited budget guy. So a converter like this is manually tunable, just like a regular clutch. You simply change weights and you get it to become efficient at a different RPM, so that you can bring the efficiency in at whatever rate you need it for your car.
Neal Chance Racing Converters has been revolutionizing racing for 40 years, and they continue to do it as we speak. Check them out at racingconverters.com.
This is a full carbon fiber chassis. It is a KTM Crossbow GTX. It runs in GT3 in the GT Celebration, and it is amazing. Steering wheel carbon fiber, the entire body, the monocoque, the roof, everything. It is beautiful, and it is a thoroughbred sports car. I am tucked in this thing so tightly, it is amazing. And it just goes to show you, from showpieces to race cars, you can see it all right here.
Here at PRI, it's all about racing. Well, mostly because some of these products you can also use on your car on the street, or maybe your restoration. Eric, what's your specialty here at Design Engineering?
Really, it's going to come down to our exhaust wrap. We're going to offer it in a couple different flavors for you. Came out with the titanium about 15 years ago or so. What that's actually crushed basalt lava rock, woven into a fiber. It really can take the heat over the standard fiberglass wraps, which we do offer, as well as our Exo Series wrap, which is actually a fiberglass wrap with a stainless steel skeleton around it to help prevent against abrasions, anything that can come up from the road or the racetrack. We offer our HT sprays to help prolong the life of the wrap, help that protected, and also keep it up to color if you would like. We have the black, the silver, and the white available for you.
And you guys are also famous for your sound and heat control, kind of all in one here.
What we consider the complete solution is going to be our floor and tunnel on the outside of the vehicle, blocking that heat coming in, and then followed up on the interior with our boom mat damping product. That's going to help prevent any chassis-borne vibrations. On top of that is going to be our undercarpet light product. That's going to help with heat and sound on for you. But really, that's the complete package used by a lot of your top-end builders that we work with.
I know putting sound control and heat control in can be a real tedious process. How are you making that easier now?
In-house, we have a CNC cutter and water jet table. A lot of the newer kits, the vehicle-specific stuff, what we're doing, we're actually 3D scanning the chassis and then producing a kit within a day or two. Just as fast as we can get the stuff in, we're scanning it. It's everything from the trucks, the side-by-sides, the Mazda Miatas coming out, also the Volkswagen Bug kit. Everything's already cut, so you can put it right in the car or the truck, and everything just fits the way it should.
The place to go for defeating sound and heat issues in your race car or your restoration, designengineering.com. More race cars and racing stuff when Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, returns from the PRI show in Indianapolis.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by rockauto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. Tire Service International, your first choice for tire equipment. Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system. And by BrothersTrucks.com, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck restoration.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is back at the Performance Racing Industry Show in, where else? Indianapolis. PRI is not just about their annual trade show, it's an organization that works year-round as a vital advocate for racers and the racing industry.
If you love racing and you want to protect a racer's ability to build a race car, to not be regulated in how they build that race car, and the ability to go to racetracks, help preserve these racetracks, and be able to participate in the hobby that you love, but if you're not a builder, also be able to see the type of racing that you love to see and not see it go away. This new PRI membership contributes to the fight, again, to protect and to preserve that. And then on top of that, we're also building benefits that you can take advantage of.
Fans of Motorhead Garage have no doubt seen Clamptite. It's an incredibly versatile hose clamp you can use for all kinds of applications. But we're at PRI, Kevin. Why do racers love the Clamptite tool?
The greatest thing about Clamptite, it makes a custom 360 seal clamp. It's great for quick fixes, get you back on the track. And it's such a clean, nice fix that you can actually concentrate on your racing, not worrying about if your fix is going to hold or whatever. You can actually do your driving, your racing, and not have to worry about what you just clamped or what you just fixed.
When I think of racing quick fixes, I think of things like duct tape and stuff that's going to be a temporary deal. But the Clamptite clamp is something that's going to last forever. How does it work?
So what it does, it gives you that true 360-degree seal without any flat spots. It holds up under extreme pressures, anything basically under the hood that you're running on your engines and things. So it's just a clean, no flat spot kind of seal, which is way better than your duct tape or your zip ties even.
And way better than a traditional hose clamp because it makes that seal all the way around. Can I take the Clamptite tool off?
Yeah, it's very simple. You just bend your tabs right back over. You're going to grab that right in the middle, and that clamp literally pulls right back off. The good thing with that is if you multi-wrap it, if you have that kind of time on the track, you can actually reuse that again. So if you have a place like a thermostat or something, you can take it on and off until you run out of wire.
The Clamptite tool is a quick fix. It's also a permanent fix, better than a traditional hose clamp. You can get one at clamptitetools.com.
This is stewedzilla, a 1953 Studebaker with an 11,000 horsepower nitro-burning Top Fuel dragster engine. It's owned by Scott Palmer, who also runs Top Fuel. He took the driveline out of one of his dragsters, put it in this Pro Mod, and he aims to be the first 300-mile-per-hour door slammer. It will happen sometime soon. Where? We're just going to have to wait and find out.
Well, motorsports is all about innovation and new technologies, and here's a technology so new, you didn't even have time for a display, and you brought the prototype with you, but I guarantee you, next time this year, this is going to be in every garage. It's the Jab Jumper. John, tell me what the Jab Jumper is.
Jab Jumper is an easy-to-install product that goes on the vehicle. It's about the stack of 4 cell phones. This is just a prototype. What it does is that when you go to crank the vehicle and you turn the key and it actually realizes that it don't have the voltage to crank the vehicle, when you turn the switch back off and turn it back on, it actually has a regulator that detects the cold cranking amps that it needs to jump that vehicle. So instead of having to get out and jump the vehicle off with a battery, jumper cables or anything like that, you can actually just crank the vehicle right up. So no more dead batteries, jumper cables, all that stuff is gone. So it's a convenience and a safety product for the consumer.
Unlike a trickle charger, this is something that stays under your hood?
It stays under the hood. It actually, the positive and negative, it just attaches to that, and it mounts anywhere under the hood with a high-powered magnet, and it just stays under there. It's lightweight, less than 5 pounds.
What vehicles can use a jab jumper?
So it's actually a universal product. It can be on race cars, ATVs, motorcycles, boats, anything that has a battery.
And we're here at PRI, so racers are coming to see you. What are they using it for?
So they're actually using it to not carry around these big, heavy jump boxes. They're actually using it because a lot of times if they're showing their displays and things like that, the problem is that they may have a dead battery, then they have that inconvenience of having to carry down that charger and actually charge it. So it's a convenience product, and it's lightweight.
Best of all, there's a 5-year warranty. You can get yours at jabjumper.com. Never worry about a dead battery again. Still, so much more to discover at the PRI show when Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, returns right after this break. Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is at the Performance Racing Industry Show. And of course, the PRI show is in Indianapolis, the world's center of racing. So named because the most famous racetrack on the planet is just on the other side of town.
Well, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway was built as a technology incubator, really, early on in 1909 when they built the track. Carl Fisher and the founders, that was the reason they built the track, not so much for a race, but to test cars. There was not really any good roads where you could take cars out and really test them. And it turned into a race.
All forms of racing are represented here at PRI, including No Prep Kings. This is Ryan Martin's World Championship car, Z01 Camaro. By rule, they have to adhere to the factory lines and dimensions. You can see all the character traits of this Camaro. What you can't see is the 3,500 horsepower Pro-Line engine with a Pro Charger under the hood.
If you have 2 parts you need to connect, but you need them to move, then you need rod ends. And Rod End Supply is the only place to go. Bob Douglas, tell me about the variety of rod ends you guys supply.
We make a wide variety of rod ends. We make some economy style rod ends for maybe lawnmowers, lawn tractors, that type of thing. We make more precision rod ends, which sometimes can even be used in space, such as SpaceX, industrial machinery, race cars, Indianapolis, NASCAR, rod ends, spherical bearings are used everywhere.
What makes Rod End Supply's rod ends better?
We try to be very attentive to detail, make sure there's good quality, good service, and on-time deliveries.
Talking size here, what's the range of rod ends?
This is the largest that we make at the present time. This has got a 1-inch hole with an 1.25 inch thread. It's a fairly heavy part, almost about 2 pounds. The smallest part we make is a part that we make for Disney, for their animatronics. And this has got a 540 thread with a 440 hole in the ball. Of course, if you've got rod ends, they have to be connected to something. So we have a variety of aluminum and steel swedge tubes. You can make your own connecting link, because we also sell threaded, welded-in bungs, so you stick them in pieces of tubing and weld them, so you can make your own link. We also have a lot of variety of other parts, such as the uniballs. Uniballs are basically a rod end without a thread on it. So the uniballs a lot of times are used in suspension components such as A-arms. So people make their own A-arms because they don't necessarily want a ball joint. They want a uniball that will give them a little more flexibility and a little more precision.
If you've got a machine from a lawnmower to a car to a spaceship, you're going to need Rod End Supply. Go to rodendsupply.com.
1961 Corvette. The Corvette fans love this car. This one's a little special though, and not because it's got an LS3 under the hood. Check out the lines. Look at the chrome. The red is so deep. The interior amazing. But as you get to the rear of the car, it is revealed the entire top is from a 1963 split window Corvette. A shocker here at PRI.
On the P.O.R. products catalog, it says they're with you from rust to finish. Yes, they'll fight your rust. Their finishes look amazing. But now, Kurt, how do you keep those finishes looking great?
So I'm glad you asked. We just launched our new detail line earlier this spring, and we have a whole assortment of products from tire dressing cream to car shampoo, detail spray, a one-step compound and polish. But the two I want to talk about today are our one-step compound and polish and our detail spray. So our one-step compound and polish is pretty self-explanatory. One step, put it on a foam pad, go down the side of the car, and it will give you a car lot new shine on the side of the car. You can also do it by hand, but it's a lot easier not putting all that elbow grease into it if you just want to do it with a pad. The other one I want to talk about is our detail spray, and this will also give your clear that brand new off the lot look, and you can apply that right after you wash the car. Whenever you start to see a shine fade from the car, you can reapply it, just spray it on and wipe it off with a microfiber cloth.
What makes P.O.R. products, finished products, different from the others that are out there?
So what's really unique about these products here is we wanted to take the same level of quality that we're known for with our rust prevention paint and put it into a line of detail products. So you won't find another detail product out there the same quality level and price point that we have with these.
How do I know I'm getting a quality product from P.O.R. products?
It's all in the name. It's guaranteed sale every time, and we wouldn't make that issue if we couldn't back it up.
And it's all made in the USA. They're there from rust to finish and beyond. PORproducts.com. Don't hit the brakes yet. We're still on a hot lap around PRI on Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, so keep it right here.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by Mobile Environmental Solutions, the leading portable mobile paint booth. Hunter Engineering, state-of-the-art wheel aligners and wheel alignment machines. Scorpion Racing Products, your manufacturing powerhouse for American-made rocker arms. Dorman Products, driving new solutions. And by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings from the annual PRI show in Indianapolis, the motorsports capital of the world.
One of the stars of the show here at PRI is Lewis Hamilton's W11 chassis Formula One car, 7 driver and constructor championships. The thing is amazing. Everybody crowding around, whether you're a drag racer, a dirt track racer, IndyCar racer, to see and be near and be this close to a Formula One car is so unusual. The carbon fiber work, all the winglets, every aspect is absolutely perfect. After all, that is why they've been able to win so many world championships. Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen put on such a show for the fans in 2021.
All right, dirt racers, you know the routine. You want to get into the pits, get some tires. Well, that means the floor jack, and you crank that thing up. You get the jack stands under each side, and that takes forever. And that's only the front. Now you got to go to the back. Well, guess what? It's just this simple to lift your dirt car off the ground now, thanks to the Dirt Car Lift. What inspired this invention, Cody?
So we got to looking for one for ourselves, and there was nothing on the market that was safe, really. It's a bunch of chop saws and welders, and obviously with welding at any point there's room for error. We had all the capabilities at the shop, and this is where it was born.
How is the Dirt Car Lift constructed?
At a 6061 aluminum, all CNC machined, done on Haas mills and Mazak lathes.
So what's the lifting capacity of the lift?
4,500 pounds.
It's unbelievable. And how much does the unit weigh itself?
67 pounds.
What different race cars are using the Dirt Car Lift?
So right now we're under late models, modified, sprints, midgets, pretty much any car. We can make it any center to center you need. It's just a matter of having that measurement.
You've got a couple of different models here. Tell me about those.
So we have the X Series that is more for your raised right front rail cars. And then we have our Eco Series that's just a flat 18-inch lift for any cars without raised right front frame rails.
These guys thought of everything. The hydraulic pump comes with it as well. You won't have any problems with the Dirt Car Lift, but if you have a question, you can give them a call. They have their phone numbers right there. You can reach them 24/7. I talked to these guys earlier. They said racers come to them all the time saying this is the best money they've ever spent on their race car. Get one for yourself at dirtcarlift.com.
The genius of the performance industry is if it doesn't exist, they will make it. And it could be something unusual like Farm Truck and Asians, amazing farm truck, so popular from Street Outlaws. Street Outlaws all over this, except this is not the truck. This is the pontoon boat. So popular they got out of control with the design. Fiberglass body, the original 572 cubic inch big block Chevrolet that powered the original farm truck is in the back of this. They cut through the water like they cut through the streets. So popular, 2 of the favorites from Street Outlaws, and they are represented here at PRI.
Racing is the constant quest for more horsepower. It's usually really hard to get, but there's a simpler way to get a few horsepower. Zach, how can I do it with Scorpion Racing Products?
Absolutely. We manufacture high-performance valve train components, mainly rocker arm systems, pedestal mount, stud mount, shaft mount. and some fuel rail systems as well. We are ISO 9001 certified. Everything's 100% manufactured in our Ocala, Florida facility, and we use all U.S. source materials as well.
And how does all that translate to quality?
We are 100% in control internally of our product quality. We can hold tighter tolerances, and we can put more gauges and more inspections in place than we would if we had to sub them out to subcontractors. So overall, the end result in the final assembly is a tighter fit and a higher performing product.
What kind of racers are using Scorpion Racing products?
Really all the above. I mean, you have circle track, drag racing, tractor pulling, offshore boats, hot rodders, street cars, anything that uses a rocker arm and a domestic V8, we make a product for it.
And it's not just a one-size-fits-all sort of thing. How do you customize your approach for different forms of racing or for different racers?
We cater to some of the racers that have a lift rule or ratio rule. We'll make sure that the spring that they're using is duplicated in our shop, and we'll make sure that it doesn't check over ratio, and it also doesn't check under ratio with deflection involved, so that way they get every thousandth of valve lift they expect out of the product.
When folks receive your product, how do they know they're getting something of the highest quality?
Oh, they notice it immediately. As soon as you open the box, you can see the care and quality that we put into the product. Everything's nicely organized. Everything's 100% wiped down, inspected for defects, free rotation. And then when they bolt on the product, obviously that horsepower gain is the second thing that they'll notice.
Hey, you're really going to notice it once you put your right foot down. You can check these guys out at scorpionracingproducts.com. Well, as we take the checkered flag, we thank you for joining us here on Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, this time coming from the PRI show in Indianapolis. What a week and what a show. We're back in the studio next week, and we hope you join us then for a brand new episode. So from the gang here at PRI, so long from Indy.